Hi, this is Dave, and welcome to the Table Express, where we take a quick look at today's board and card games, looking at them from a family perspective. Today, we're going to be taking a quick look at Gold Ahoy from Mayfair Games. Now, this is a two-player tile-laying game where you're going to be placing tiles and building paths to have the majority of access to find the fabled treasures of pirate Golden Hooks, whose treasure has been buried along this coast. It's buried in the water, and it's buried in the sand. So let's take a look at this game, how it's played, and I'll come back and I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, let's take a quick look at the components that come in Gold Ahoy. And so we open up the box here, we're going to have a rule sheet that's in multiple languages here. It's all of whopping 4 pages. And we have a bag here that has 36 tiles in there. That's all the components for the game. They're two-sided, and they have, each tile will have a different configuration of sand and water with treasure chests on them. Alright, let's take a look at how the game's played. Okay, to play Gold Ahoy, it's very, very simple. Players are going to alternate turns drawing tiles and placing them on the game board, forming a 6x6 tile grid in an attempt to gain control of these treasure chests. So the first player is going to draw their tile, and they're going to place it on the game board here. And they can place it however they want. They can place it this way, this way, this way, this way. What they're going to try to do is they're going to try to gain or have access to these treasure chests in order to claim them. So right now, if I place it like this, my opponent has one path of access to this chest, whereas I have none. So I'm going to place it like this here, giving myself the advantage to be able to claim that one chest. And I will draw a new tile and place it in front of me. The second player is going to do the same thing. They're going to draw a tile, and they're going to be able to place it. Now, the rules for this are they are going to place this tile, and it's going to have to be adjacent to a tile that's already been placed, and they have to share at least one edge. So we can place it here, we can place it here, or we can start a new row here behind it. We can't place it diagonal here, and we cannot place it on this side here towards our opponent to start a new row. So we cannot do that. And we also have to abide by the rules that there cannot be more than 6 tiles going across or 6 tiles this way. So for this demo here, if I place this tile like this, I'm giving myself, this player here, one access to that, actually 2 points of access for this one chest. But I've also given my opponent now 2 access points to this chest. So I have to be mindful of how I'm going to place this. And so if I place the tile like this now here, we will be tied for access here, and then we will be tied for access for that chest. But I'm okay with that. So this player is going to draw this tile here. And so what's going to happen now is this player is going to place this tile here now, and I'm going to place it like this. Here. Now I have started a new row working towards me. I could place it here in this row, continuing to build this out as long as there's not 6 tiles here, but I can't start a new row here. So once I start a new row, it's fair game for this other player now to be able to place tiles there. So I'm going to draw this tile here, put it in front of me here. And so now on this turn here, this player can place a tile. And what I could try to do is I can try to place a tile, and I'm always trying to gain the most access to these tiles in order to claim them. So this is going to be kind of an area control type game, as well as tile placement, and a lot of take that to your neighbor if possible. So if I wanted to, I could place this over here on this side. This is going to give them 2 points of access to this chest. But the other thing is I want to try to eliminate the chances for my opponent to be able to claim things. If I do this now, he's got 2 points of access for this chest. So maybe I don't want to place this here, and maybe I just decide that at this point I'm going to start a new row here and drawing a tile. So this play is going to continue going back and forth, building up this 6x6 grid. Let me show you what the game looks like at the end. Okay, this is what the game board looks like when all of the tiles have been placed, and we're going to move on to scoring. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look to see who has the most access points to areas of land and water in order to claim those spaces and chests as ours. So let's look in particular at this land mass here that's kind of in the middle of the game board. And I wanted to show you something here. If we look at this in terms of points of access, we're going to look at all of this land that happens to be connected together that we can reach from our side of the table. So right here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 points of access that covers this big, huge land mass. And if we look at how everything is all connected, and we come over to this side, we see that this player only has 2 points of access up at the top, right here and right here. So what's going to happen is that all of these treasure chests that are in this landmass are going to be claimed by player number 1. So if we start here and move across here, we're going to look at everything that's all connected. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we go up here 12, 13, 14, 15. So we would get 15 points just from that land mass. And we look on the other side over here, and there's really no land for this player to claim here, because all these other ones, the tiles have been placed in such a way that he doesn't really have access to anything. Now let's look at the waterways here, and if we look over here, he has 1, 2, 3 different points of access to claim all of these chests in the water. And if we look here, there's really nothing that connects to the board down here. So all of these chests that are in the water that they can reach from that side, they're going to be able to claim, which is 1, 2, 3. We look across here, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're going to gain 7 chests from there. And down at the bottom, we're going to pick up another 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side, 5, 6. So still you can see that the player number 1 here has a very, very large victory due to the placement of the tiles in claiming this big, huge land mass. But that's how you play Gold Ahoy. All right, let's talk about Gold Ahoy here. And if we look at the artwork on this box, yes, this is Clemens Franz, who's done the artwork for games like Caverna, Agricola, and all of a lot of Uwe Rosenberg's games, and so looks very, very similar in his, and you can tell by his style here. And the box size for this is very, very small. This is the same size box as games like Targi or Agricola All Creatures Big and Small. So it's going to be that size is going to not take up a lot of space on your shelf. And you open it up inside, and there's not a lot of components. Inside the box, there was a pouch. There was 36 of these tiles that have really, really cool artwork on both sides. And they separated very, very nicely from their sheet. And a very, very simple rule sheet here that has the game spelled out in 4 different languages. There's literally only a few sentences here that explain about the game, the setup, how to play. You've got a diagram here that shows you how to place tiles, explanation for scoring, and then a scoring diagram on the back. So very, very simple game. One thing that says in the rules is to put the tiles in this pouch. If I put all 36 tiles in this pouch, it makes it very, very difficult to draw them out because there's not really a way for you to get in there. I kind of find that to be a nuisance. I use this for storage, and I just shuffle up the tiles and make a pile to play the game. So that's probably my only thing that I was not wild about in terms of components. This should have been a bigger pouch in order to store the tiles if they wanted you to reach in and draw them out. So looking at this gameplay though, I was really, really surprised with just a few simple rules that this game can be quite a bit more than you would think it is. I find this to be a brain burner with this game because you're essentially playing this puzzle game where you and your opponent are essentially, you're working together building this playing area of 6 tiles by 6 tiles. But every single time that you're placing a tile, you're looking to give yourself the advantage and really stick it to your opponent. So this is going to have a lot of direct confrontation in this game. Each time you're placing tiles, you're looking for the best way that's going to give you access. How are you going to place tiles like this? Are you going to do a separate path here? Look, we only have This, we don't have access to this particular chest. However, if I place this tile here, now all of a sudden I have 2 paths of access. So you're going to be trying to make every single move count as to how you're going to place these tiles to give yourself the advantage and try to gain the most treasure chests. The challenge of the game comes, though, when it comes the time to start a new row, because the rules state that you cannot place a tile on your opponent's side to start a new row. And so if you're abiding by that, you're kind of building out what you have and trying to fill in those spaces, but there's going to come to a point where you're going to have to start a new row. And as soon as you place that first tile, it's game on, because now your opponent is going to be able to place tiles in that row in an attempt to kind of shut you down in the work that you've been building and try to turn things around and turn what you built as your own advantage into a disadvantage for yourself, or completely cut off all of the work that you built and have it where you will have no access at all to be able to score things. So very much a directly confrontational game. This is something, a game where you're going to have to make every single move count. Where you place the tiles and how you place your tiles is going to be key for a successful victory in this game, hopefully, because your opponent is going to be doing the same thing. This game, looking at this game from a family perspective, is definitely going to be developing your spatial recognition skills and looking at the game board and how the pieces are going to best fit in this game. And so definitely going to give your brain a workout when you're playing this game. I also find this game to definitely have you thinking about forethought in this game, because you're going to have to think a few steps ahead in this game. You're going to be having to think that, oh yes, okay, I'm building this stuff here in front of me now and I've got all this access, but eventually time is going to come when you're going to have to start a new row in front of you because you have nowhere else to place a tile. Or you're going to hope that your opponent is going to be kind of backed into a corner that they're going to have to build back towards them. So you're going to have this a little bit of a tug of war here, and you're going to be weighing the options to start looking at, what am I going to do as soon as I start a new row? My opponent is going to be working against me, so I'm going to have to be able to adapt. So definitely going to have this element of having to make every move count, thinking ahead, definitely spatial recognition. I find this game to be a lot more to it than you would think. Like I said, when I open up the box, just a few components, but this turns this into a very, very challenging puzzle type game that has plenty of player interaction. I like this one. This is good for 2 players. This is, I think, a perfect game for 2 players. I don't think that this would be very much fun with 3 or 4 players, because it would just be too much player interaction, and you can start seeing a way that players would gang up on one another. So definitely a good 2-player game that has lots of good direct conflict. So if you're looking for a game where it's a little more relaxed and you're looking to just kind of do your own thing, this is not a game for you. But if you're looking for something where you're being able to do kind of something puzzly and you're looking to stick it to your opponent, then Gold Ahoy is going to be something for you. Looking at the gameplay of this time, they say this game plays in about 15 minutes, and I think that that's about fair. However, if you're playing against somebody who suffers from analysis of paralysis, look out, this game is going to take a lot longer, because as the game board gets larger, there's going to be more and more options, and so you're going to have somebody who's going to get kind of hung up on, what am I going to do? And it could become something that could be not enjoyable between turns, because there will be a lot of downtime. So definitely take advantage of the rule that as soon as you place a tile, draw a new one, and you're going to be looking at it and starting to plan where you're going to place your tile, and that's going to kind of help mediate that problem. So overall, Gold Ahoy, this is a really, really cool, good 2-player game that has a nice, good puzzle element to it. All right, that's it for now, and join me again next time as we take a look at another game and we see how it makes it to the table.